Imagine dropping your child off at school, trusting that their teacher has the skills and knowledge to educate them, but then later finding out that their certification isn't even real. I'm Charles Blaine, and this is Texas Tomorrow. How many unqualified teachers are there in Texas classrooms right now? Well, a massive scandal is still ongoing in Texas education, and the scope is staggering. More than 400 people may have illegally obtained teaching certificates through a $1 million cheating ring based here in Houston. And at least 200 of them got jobs as teachers in public schools across the state, and that number keeps growing. Here's how the scheme worked. Aspiring teachers who couldn't pass their certification exams would pay about $2,500 to have someone else take the test for them. They'd use fake identities, corrupt test proctors, and professional test takers to beat the system. The ring was allegedly led by Vincent Grayson, a longtime basketball coach at Houston ISD's Booker T. Washington High School, and this wasn't some small-time operation either. The Texas Education Agency has now released the names of over 160 teachers under investigation spread across 33 school districts across the state. That includes teachers in Dallas ISD, Fort Worth ISD, Arlington, Richardson, and dozens of other districts across Texas. And the human cost here is enormous. The former Harris County District Attorney said that 2 of the people who paid for fake certifications ended up being charged with crimes against children. So think about that. Not only did they cheat to get into the classroom, but then they allegedly harmed the very students they were there to protect. This scandal exposes the fundamental problems with how we're recruiting and screening teachers in Texas. The scheme apparently ran from May 2020 to at least 2024. So that's 4 years of unqualified teachers potentially damaging children's education and their safety. And it gets worse. The cheating ring specifically targeted the Houston Training and Education Center as their testing location. And test candidates were driving from Dallas, Fort Worth, and other cities sometimes more than 4 hours away to take their exams in Houston. And these were people who had previously failed their certification tests but suddenly started passing with flying colors, which triggered some notice from the Texas Education Agency. But this was only after years of damage. How many red flags were missed? How many districts hired these teachers without proper verification? That's what we hope to find out. The scandal also raises serious questions about how oversight is played into this. How did 3 Houston ISD administrators, including 2 assistant principals, help orchestrate this fraud? These are people in positions of authority who should have been protecting the integrity of the education system, but were not. School districts across the state have been scrambling to review their hiring practices and terminate teachers involved in the scheme, but the damage is done. And how many students receive subpar education from unqualified teachers? And how many safety incidents could have been prevented with proper screening? As this investigation continues, parents and community members need to demand answers from their local school districts, like what steps are being taken to verify the credentials of their current teachers, but also what safeguards are being put in place to prevent this from happening again. Your child's education depends on having qualified teachers in the classroom. So when corruption undermines that basic standard, it's not just a crime, it's a betrayal of every family who trusts our public education system. This is why school engagement matters. School board meetings, budget discussions, hiring policies. These aren't just boring administrative details. These are the foundation of your child's education if they're in the public education system. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Texas Tomorrow. Please like, share, comment, and let us know if there's something going on in your neighborhood that you'd like us to talk about.